said, Stan, the headline today is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4 surprise transfer targets, actually. I think we're going to be really surprised talking about this, who Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to bring in this summer. This has been doing the rounds across the UK press. 4 transfers would be great. Who the positions he's looking at, I think, is going to create a big debate. Big update on Jadon Sancho today from Borussia Dortmund. We'll be talking about that as well. Champions League draw. I want to have a little chat about who you'd like to get. England squad, international squads have been announced, and Jesse Lingard not part of the England squad, which I think is great. Rashford and Luke Shaw are, but I think Lingard not being part of it, great. As many players as possible not part of it, get a rest. To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind Marcus Rashford after the Wolves game saying all my ankles sore actually and having a couple of weeks off. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of those happened. That would be good for us. And a few other things I'd like to talk about as well. I was shaking my head at the start. Someone was asking why were you shaking your head. I was shaking my head at the start because there's a funny clip on Twitter of somebody on a treadmill doing skills. And I retweeted it and said, well, if I got 10,000 retweets, I'll replicate the video. I didn't think 10,000 retweets was possible. It's on 8,000 after a couple of hours. So I need my sweatbands and I need a treadmill because I'm going to make a twat of myself yet again. What a prat. Anyway, let's fly in. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 4 transfer targets apparently. Good news that he wants 4 players. But the positions, let's get your thoughts on this straight away. The positions he's apparently looking at, not a centre-back, not even a CDM, not a striker. He's looking at left-back, right-back, right winger, which is good, and an attacking midfielder as well. So what are your thoughts of that then? What are your thoughts on that? No centre-backs, which we spoke about last night. Would you be bothered if we didn't go for a centre-back and he went with the Rojos, the Smallings, the Bays, the Lindelofs, the Jones? A lot of you quite like a right-back, Wan-Bissaka. A lot of people want him to come to Manchester United. You've got Delo, who can provide cover at left and right-back though. So look, I can see one full-back being an option, but let's not forget, we've kept Ashley Young for another year. Ashley Young can play, well, I don't think he, I actually, can I just correct, I don't think Ashley Young can play left back or right back, but Manchester United do. So he's cover for both. Delo can play on both. Luke Shaw's our specialist left back. So maybe Wan-Bissaka or a right back makes sense, but I don't think we need a left back and a right back. Otherwise, what's the point in having Delo? What the hell is he up to getting a left back, says Giselle. I don't know whether it's replacements for what we've got. I think it might be backups for what we've got, but I don't think we need. I think fullbacks are quite low on the chopping board, to be honest with you. But I'll have some of your thoughts. CDM needed, says Raras Col. I think we need a centre back, a CDM, and a right winger. Right winger's on there, which is good, and then an attacking midfielder. What are your thoughts on that? My thoughts are Coutinho. I'm thinking, maybe there's something in the Coutinho rumour. Maybe there's something in the Isco rumour. That sort of a player. But then I think, well, aren't we desperately trying to get Mata to stay? Pereira's staying for another year. Lingard can play that position. Pogba can play that position. Alexis Sanchez can play that position. So it's exciting in one way that we might be looking for an attacking midfielder. The fullback things concern me. The right winger, I think, is good. But if you're asking me if we need 4 signings, as I've said before, centre-back, right midfielder, CDM, striker. But maybe he thinks that he can get something out of Lukaku and keep him. I don't know. Adam Smith, these are just reports. Exactly, but it would be a very boring place if we didn't respond to what's in the media, because sometimes it is true. But I just wanted to get your opinions on it if those 4 positions were the reality. I mean, at the end of the day, if we make 4 signings, I would trust Solskjaer. I must just clarify that. If we make 4 signings and it's a left back, a right back, a right winger and a centre attacking midfielder, I would trust Solskjaer because he's been backed in the transfer market and he's bought 4 players. I can't argue with that. I don't necessarily agree with the position strength thing, but if he signs 4 players, he's going to be getting close to 200 million quid, isn't he? And I read something today that they're going to give him 200 million pounds and anything else he generates from sales. So I'd be very, very happy with that. If he went and bought right back, left back, centre attacking midfielder and right winger, again, like I say, I don't necessarily agree that that's where we need strengthening, but I would trust him because I want him to be our manager. But yeah, I mean, backup for Luke Shaw maybe. I don't think there's many better left backs available anyway in world football than Luke Shaw. But backup certainly, maybe. Right back, I quite like Delo there. You've got Ethan Lard coming through in the youth setup, who's fantastic. So I'm not convinced about fullbacks. Centre attacking midfielder could be about Coutinho. The right winger position, spot on. I like that one. But there is a big update about that one. So Borussia Dortmund have come out and said that Jadon Sancho will be a player at Borussia Dortmund next season. They will not be selling players they don't want to sell. At some point, he will be leaving Dortmund. They're going to tell the truth and say, yeah, he will be leaving Dortmund at some point because that's the trajectory of his career, but not this summer. And they're aware of the interest over in England, but not to go. Look, you know what? A lot of people were like, Paul McKeown says, promote Ethan Laird and Brandon Williams for fullbacks. Exactly. Exactly. I think Ethan Laird, I've been saying it for a long time, and a lot of people have been saying about him. I think he's got the potential. He's still relatively young. Didn't we bring Ethan Laird in from like Charlton or something like that, or am I thinking about somebody else? But he's very, very good. Very, very good fullback. So keep your ears and eyes open for him. And as I said, Alou Traoré, keep your eyes and ears open for him as well. I mean, he could solve our midfield options, although he is quite young. But yeah, in relation to Sancho, I had loads of people messaging me today about this, saying, we're not going to get Sancho. I've always said that I want Sancho to come to Manchester United, but it does feel a little bit soon for him to leave Dortmund. This is his first real season there. And that works both ways. It works one way in that, do you want to do a Milinkovic-Savic, which we nearly did last summer, where he has a great season in Europe and domestically, followed up by a crap World Cup and a crap domestic season? Maybe it might be worth seeing what Sancho does next year. The flip side of that coin is if he has a good season next year, he doubles his value. I know for a fact that Jadon Sancho is going to be a top-class player, and I think if we want him, we aggressively go for him in the summer. And I don't get deterred by what the Dortmund man has said. What's he supposed to say? Yeah, we're selling him in the summer. Bidding start here. I don't agree with it. I think if we want to get him, we go and get him. Nitish Kumar says, Mark, how about Wan-Bissaka, De Ligt, Sancho and Ndidi? I think that, to me, would be a dream transfer window. So you get the right back in Wan-Bissaka, you get De Ligt, the centre back, you get Sancho, the right winger, and you get Ndidi, the midfielder. You know what? People talk about what gets you hard about football. That not quite, but if anything did, that would, Nitesh. That would be the dream summer. And Didi, Sancho, De Ligt and Wan-Bissaka. And the great thing about every one of those players is all good players, all young, all got development in them, I think they're all under 23 actually. So yeah, that would be fantastic. And I think 2 of them are in their teens. Pepe instead, maybe, Xavier Daniels. I think we're in for a very exciting transfer window at Manchester United anyway, and I do think it's going to start kicking in this March international break, so make sure you are locked on to the United stand like many of you are anyway. What do you think about Dibala for 140 million, says Louis John? I'll take that question and I'll turn it on its head. I like Dibala. I watch Italian football. I did the watch along last night on That's Football for Juventus versus Atletico Madrid, which is why we're doing the shows at 7 o'clock tonight and last night. And boy, I'm glad I did. What a great game of football that was for the neutral, although I did want Juventus to win. I absolutely loved it. Does Dybala grab me as a United player? No. Do I like him? Yes. Would I spend over £100 million on him? No. Dybala, to me, is the Argentinian Griezmann. Very good on his day, but very inconsistent. I mean, Griezmann, I didn't even know he was playing yesterday. In a big game like that, they're the games that you're meant to turn up on. I wouldn't want Griezmann at United now because of the way he led us up the garden path twice. But I don't really want Dybala either. I think he is quite inconsistent. And I think United need hunger, consistency. And I would rather go for somebody a little bit different. But just by the way as well, 8 o'clock tonight, That's Football. I'm doing Bayern Munich knocking Liverpool out, so you can join me for that. Red Baron, after going for targets abroad, 50 million plus for the last 6 years, I might just want to promote youth talents for a generation. If the youth talents are good enough, Red Baron, I totally agree with you that. And I don't have a problem with it at all. Can I just say about, there was a couple of stories today. Remember we were talking about Pogba last night? Keep your comments coming in about the right backs, the left back. I mean, you know what? If we're after a left back, who are we after? Who are we after if we're after a left back? I can't think of a left back that you'd bring in. There's, Alexandro is going to stay at Juventus. Do you want a left back to move Luke Shaw out of the team? No. Do you want a left back to be an understudy to Luke Shaw? Yes. Who do you go for in that? I mean, we're not blessed with loads of those types of left backs in the Premier League. I mean, you could go for someone like a Ryan Bertrand, who's quite experienced, but he's not better than Shaw. I think that sometimes the youth is the way forward. Lozano's a good player. Look, you know what? If we don't get Jadon Sancho, trust me, there are plenty of options out there. And I think that is a position that we will look to strengthen in. We may not get Jadon Sancho. We may not be able to wait for Jadon Sancho. Bernardeschi is fantastic. I really like Bernardeschi. I've spoken him about on this show in previous transfer windows. He went from Fiorentina to Juventus. We were linked to him. A lot of Italian players do stay in Italy. He's a fantastic player, but he won't be leaving Juventus. He played really well last night. But there's lots of options out there. You've got Pepe, you've got Lozano, you've got Bergwijn, you've got Leon Bailey. There's players in Portugal. There's loads and loads of options for United beyond Sancho. It's not the end of the world if we don't get him, but I'm not put off by what Borussia Dortmund have said. Just going back to Pogba for a moment. Please smash a like on the video, everybody, by the way. Just going back to Pogba for a moment. Paul Pogba talking about maybe Real Madrid wanting him, Zidane wanting him. Very interesting news today that United are not looking to extend his contract at the moment, despite the fact that he's got 2 years on his contract left. This is typical of United. You know, there's a lot of positivity around United at the moment, but I don't like the way we deal with contract renewals. We let them run down and run down and run down to save money. I think it's stupid. So effectively, Pogba's probably on about 300 grand a year at the moment. And if we started contract negotiations with him now, he'd probably want 400, which is why United won't start contract negotiations with him, because in a year's time, if they give him 400, they've saved themselves 100 grand a week for a year. That's why they do it. It's all about saving money, but then you go and chuck 400 grand a week at a bloody Chilean piano player. I don't like it. It's frustrating how we let contracts run down, but it's all about saving money. However, the other bit in the article I read is that Paul Pogba is settled at Manchester United. He's got a young family now. He's happy with what's happening with Manchester United with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Manchester United have got no intention of selling him. So for Pogba to leave United, Madrid would really have to get into his head and really unsettle him. And they don't feel that that is the case with Pogba, which is good, which is what we were talking about last night. So no to Coutinho or Dibala. James James' loan is ending. 40 to 50 million pound option, says Virgil Hainsey. I've always been a fan of James Rodriguez and his wonderful left foot. I'd love to have emojis for a wonderful left foot, wouldn't you? Like, we could just go, you know, like when Di Maria, when we mention Di Maria, and the snakes will appear in the live comments now. We really need wand and a foot, don't we? And it needs to be a left foot, so it's facing the right way. But then he could hold us to ransom if his contract is run down, says Sally Devil Red 7. Yeah, he could do. But it's all about saving money, unfortunately. But yeah, Pogba, I can't see Pogba going, and I think we need to retain those sort of players so that we can strengthen. I mean, you know, we all joke about Man City. Nobody watched their game last night, I'm sure, but they won 7-0. They're a very, very good team. I think that they might win the Champions League this year. They could win the quadruple this year. They're a very, very good team. The Snakes are appearing. But that's the target for us. That's what we've got to try and beat next season. And I think that's what Ollie will be looking at. Mashuk Mandunan says, I think we should pull a Martial on the right wing. Thoughts on Kieran Tierney, says Eden Shaw. I think Kieran Tierney's a decent player. He'd be a very interesting signing to make from Celtic. I certainly think he would push Luke Shaw as well. I think that's a good shout. It's a good shout. And do you think Chilwell would settle for being our number 2 left back? I'm afraid City, Chelsea might snatch him, says Tato. Look, I personally think that Ben Chilwell, and I'm a massive fan of Luke Shaw here, so fasten your seatbelts and prepare for your mouth to open and be shocked. I think Ben Chilwell has the potential to be better than Luke Shaw. I like Ben Chilwell. In both games I've seen him play against us this season, I think he's been arguably man of the match. He certainly was on the opening game of the season. And he's better than Leicester, with all due respect. He's better than a Premier League mid-table side. Andy Robertson's the best left-back in the league. And I think after that, Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell, for me, are fighting for that second spot. Mendy's not fit enough. I don't think Arsenal have got anything. I don't really rate what Spurs have got. For me, it's Shaw and Chilwell. But Chilwell's doing it at a lesser club. So I like Chilwell. But if you sign Chilwell, I'd like him at United. But he's too good to understudy Luke Shaw. And Luke Shaw's too good to understudy Chilwell. And that's what I'm on about here. It's like, if we were looking at a left back, a right back, an attacking midfielder, to me, you're not strengthening key areas. Centre-back, CDM. We need to strengthen there. Why going... It's like what we did with Sanchez. We bought Sanchez, but we already had Martial. And then you just end up with 2 players who only want to play in one position. So if you bought Chilwell, great signing, but we've already got a great left-back. It doesn't make sense to do it. Stims says, congratulations on 10k. Okay, I don't know when 10k for what. I don't know, but thanks for the contribution. Real Madrid don't have the money to pay for Pogba, says Trap King. Apparently they've got 400 million, mate, but I don't know about that. The Gareth Bale signing worries me. I've hit 10,000 retweets. Fucking live reaction here if I have. Fucking idiots. I should have said 20,000. What a dick. It has. It bloody has as well. Oh, for fuck's sake. How can you get 10,000 retweets in 2 hours? That's just bloody ridiculous. Absolutely bloody ridiculous. I was taking the piss. I don't want to do it, and I'm going to have to do it now. What a prick. What a prat. What an absolute prat. That's a less... You know, the best thing about it was, I was going to say 1,000 retweets, and I thought, there's an outside chance it might get that. I'll say 10,000, because there's no chance it's going to get that. 10,000 bloody retweets. What a prat. What a prat. Anyway, DT's anger management counsellor. Centre-back equals De Ligt. Right wing equals Sancho. CDM says is Tonali. Left back is Zagadou. Right back is Wan-Bissaka. De Ligt be a great future captain. Zagadou is 6'5" and versatile and a strong player. There you go. DT's anger management. There you go. Well done. Well done. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy about this. Has anyone got a treadmill that I can come and do this bloody forfeit on then in the Birmingham area? And I'll come and do it. There must be somebody who's got a treadmill. I'm going to have to tweet that out as well. So get your replies into my tweet. What a prat. What a prat. I'm going to make an absolute... I'm going to break my bloody legs, aren't I? That's what's going to happen. And my neck. What an idiot. What an idiot. I'm going to do the challenge. I can't not do it. I'm a man of my word, but I'm a prat. If people don't understand, check my Twitter feed. I challenge people to get 10,000 retweets for me to do it, and it's bloody backfired, and I'm going to make a twat, and I can't do it. So, you know, there we go. All in the name of fun. Fool. I'm a fool. I ain't getting on no plane. I ain't getting on no treadmill. I pity the fool who tries to get me on a treadmill. I ain't getting on no treadmill. I am getting on a treadmill. Down the local gym. Yeah, but they probably have to risk assess things. If I go on somebody's private treadmill, it'd be fine. And Mashuk says, we can't allow De Ligt to go to Liverpool. We can't allow De Ligt to go to Liverpool. Yes, imagine De Ligt and Van Dijk. It'd be fantastic. Anyway, I was talking about Man City last night in the Champions League. I do just want to get a couple of minutes with you now, just to talk about that before we talk about something else. I can't go to the gym. They won't risk assess it. They won't let me go on their equipment with a football. This is the problem. So I might get out of it now because I haven't got a treadmill, but I'm sure somebody will offer one up. What was I going to say? Yeah, the Champions League. Let's go through the options of the Champions League quarterfinalists. I want to get what you're thinking there. I think we all want Porto. That was not going to be my question to you. It was going to be who you think we're going to get, because I think we'd all love Porto in the quarterfinals on the Champions League draw on Friday. There will be a live Champions League draw on Friday lunchtime on the United Stand, so join us for that. But who do you think we're going to get? So we could get Porto, we could get Spurs, we could get Juventus, we could get... Who was from last week? So Porto, Spurs, ourselves, and... Who got through last week? Spurs, Porto, Ajax. So Spurs, Porto, Ajax, Juventus, Man City, Lyon, and then Bayern Munich or Liverpool. So Bayern Munich or Liverpool would be a tough game. Liverpool would be an epic game. Barcelona, probably, or it could be Lyon. That would be a tough game. Man City would be epic and would probably destroy our top four chances and their title chances because they'd be just two massive games. Spurs, wouldn't mind Spurs. Ajax, Porto, Juventus. I think we will get Spurs or Juventus. That's what I think. And I think we'll get Juventus. I've got a funny feeling. But I think Man City are going to get Porto. I think if we get Man City, Liverpool will win the league and we won't get top four. I think if we get Liverpool or Man City, that will drain us so much because they're not European games. They become like European games but with a Premier League theme, and it just becomes massively draining events for both teams. Who's easier, Porto or Ajax, says Pack376? I would say that they both would pose a problem to Manchester United because United, take away Mourinho, take away Van Gaal, even Sir Alex Ferguson, we struggle against teams that are good on the ball, and Porto and Ajax are good on the ball. That's why Barcelona would be difficult for us. But I think we'll get Juventus or Spurs. That's my prediction for Friday. Of course, I'd be very happy with Porto or Ajax. Not saying we'd beat them both, but they would, for me, be easier ties on paper. Liverpool won't advance, says Lucas Pollack. I think Bayern Munich would be a tough game over 2 legs as well. So regardless of whether they go advance or not, I'd take Spurs, Porto, Ajax or Lyon, says Mohammed. Well, Lyon could get through against Barcelona. My favourites are going to be... I think Man City are favourites. I said that at the start of the season. And Smut Beers says, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. What is the forfeit, says Reese. You've got to check my Twitter feed to see it. It's hard to explain, but I'm an idiot. That's all I'm going to say. Ajax will want revenge, says Cannon Smith. Yes, we did beat them in the Europa. I suppose the good thing about playing Ajax is we could tap up De Ligt. Got to think about that. He goes up there for thinking and down there for standing on treadmills. I wouldn't mind an English team, says Warren Alvarez. I actually think getting an English team is harder than getting a European team because it's all the drama and the media that comes with it. Like I say, we could be playing a minimum of 8 games in April, and that's a lot of games to play. And if 2 of those games are Battle of Britain, Premier League, sort of Champions League games, it makes our season very hard. This is why we need Arsenal to win tomorrow in the Europa League. This is why we need Chelsea to go through. Liverpool, I mean, they're irrelevant to us, but Man City will be thinking the same. They'd love Liverpool to go through because they want them to play as many games as they're going to have to play. Man City against Barcelona would be very interesting, Ennis Reid. And Liverpool United final, says Milim Badder. I actually think Liverpool will get through tonight. I do think they'll get through tonight. Yeah. Don't De Ligt say he wanted to go to Barcelona, says Pla Sukam. I wouldn't be surprised if he did go to Barcelona as well. Juventus will want payback, says Fraser. I've got to say, from a Manchester United point of view, if we get Juventus, and I said this about Atletico Madrid last night, Juventus are a good team, but I think it would be a 50-50 battle with us. We're a lot better than we were under Mourinho, and we beat them with Mourinho. So I think it would be I think Juventus, Spurs, Porto, Ajax are all winnable games for us over both legs. Barcelona, Man City and Liverpool or Bayern are tougher games, but they are winnable. So United have got a chance. We definitely got a chance. Give us anyone, we've beaten everyone in our way, says Anonymous. And could we get Kante, says Scoobex? I don't think so, but I would like to. Of course. Porto is an easy draw, says Mr. Games Endy. We can't do that. We can't be saying stuff like that. Ronaldo is the difference, says George Kyle. Yeah, amazing player. Write him off at your peril. Phase mood, when we beat Juventus, it was a robbery. We all know it was at the time, but it was still a good night. And Mark, what treadmill are you buying? Ajax is tough, says Gail Adam. Okay. Right, everybody, I just want to say as well, thanks everybody who's been voting for us in the Football Blogging Awards. I just want to run everybody through it because the more votes we get, the more chance we've got of winning. I think De Ligt will go to Barca as De Jong went there, says DT's anger management counsellor. It certainly does make sense. So if you look at the video description, you can see beyond the first paragraph is how you vote for us in the Football Blogging Awards. You can vote for us on Twitter. The easiest way of voting is on Twitter is to just copy the text in between the quotation marks. So I'm voting for @UnitedStand MUFC in the FBAs for Best Established Creator. Copy and paste that and just tweet it off your Twitter accounts and you've voted for us. Then to vote for me as Best Influencer, again, just copy and paste. I'm voting for @Mark Goldbridge in the FBAs for Best Influencer. Copy and paste that bit, tweet it out, and your vote is in. So please do that. It would be appreciated if you're on Twitter. And if you're on Instagram, all you've got to do is click the link where it says vote on Instagram. Simply head to the Football Blogging Awards Instagram page. Click that link and then click on the relevant category image because they've got images on there. So it would be Best Established Content Creator. Click the image and tag @TheUnitedStand TV, and then click the Best Influencer image and tag @Goldbridge Mark, which is me. If you could take a few seconds to do that, it'd be really appreciated. We're up against some big accounts. We're up against the big boys this year. We're up against Redmen TV for Liverpool. We're up against Arsenal Fan TV for Arsenal. So as many votes as you can. A few seconds of your time on Instagram and on Twitter will make a huge difference. A lot of you voted already, so thank you to everyone who has. And just please keep voting. It really matters. And as I said, if we were to win an award, You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. It will be the speech to end all speeches. Ricky Gervais has got nothing on me at the Oscars. You think Ed will pull an RVP and nab Aubameyang, says quintessential clairvoyant. I don't think there's any chance of that. Young out, in Mounier, Matic out, in Verratti, Lingard out, in Jordan Sancho, and De Ligt in. Well, Lingard's not going to go anywhere, Stephen Mayberg. Young's not going to go anywhere because he's just signed a new contract, and I don't think Matic will go anywhere. But I wouldn't mind Verratti, Mounier, and Sancho and De Ligt, to be honest with you. I'd quite like those. A few of you voted already. Thank you very much for that so far. Thank you, Zico. Mark, if you send me a PM with your home address, I'll send you a spare wheelchair that I have. I think you might need it after your twit, says Mark G, £5. I'm just going to take a dive in the first few seconds. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to make sure I've got padded neck, head, arms, legs, the lot. I've got to go and put a tweet out now, haven't I, to say I'm going to do it as well. So, yeah. And Sophie says this is the best chance to give the United Stand community the credit it deserves. Get voting. Yeah, all explained in the video description. Trust me, even taking a few seconds just to read through it and do it would be really appreciated. Thank you for everybody who does it. Please do smash a like on the video. We're back tomorrow at the normal time of 8 o'clock, and it's a Wolves preview tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So thanks everyone for watching tonight. If you want to continue with the banter and a bit of a chat, That's Football's the place to be. We'll be live at 8 o'clock, me and Marcus watching Liverpool against Bayern Munich. It's always a good laugh on That's Football when we do a watch along. It's a little bit more relaxed. Brilliant night last night with Ronaldo and Juventus, and I think it'll be another good night tonight as well. So join us 8 o'clock. The stream is already open for the live comments, and I'll be live just before 8 o'clock for that. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash the like on the video, and remember, get in the video description and get voting. I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching. I'm about to go and put out a very, very sad tweet. What a prat. What a prat. See you soon.